From 1916 to 1930, over 500,000 people were mysteriously afflicted with the sleeping sickness, an unexpected sickness that caused the body to freeze like a statue. The victims' minds were unaffected, but they were now prisoners of a body that couldn't move. Some patients died and some survived, but many were left with lifelong neurological and mental side effects. What caused this strange illness and its widespread rate for such a relatively brief period of time remains a mystery today. Welcome back to Archive Dive, a mystery from history. A century ago, people around the world began falling into a deep, uncontrollable sleep. As the illness was soon named the sleepy sickness, it swept the world. It started in 1916 in Europe with people who began experiencing strange neuropsychiatric behaviors with extreme lethargic sleepiness, leaving most in a coma-like state with muscle rigidity. One woman, Eleanor Carey, contracted the disease while living in New York at the time, and she said it was like, quote, being buried in a pit as deep as the center of the earth. She said after about 2 months into it, there was little pain. In fact, she was very comfortable as long as the doctors were not prodding her. She said they attempted many things to try to bring her out of her deep slumber that she was fully aware of, like standing on her head, flipping her over in the bed, and dashing cold water in her face. She said it was heavenly to be allowed to just sleep, but everyone else around her seemed determined to prevent her from sleeping comfortably. She said at one point it finally clicked through her mind that she needed to wake up, but she just couldn't. During the outbreak, nearly thousands of people died, and thousands were left frozen inside their bodies and placed in institutions for decades. The official name of the disease is encephalitis lethargica and is dubbed the biggest medical mystery of all time. No two cases were the same, which made treating patients very difficult. There was a wide variety of symptoms to include sleep disturbances, fevers, headaches, extreme tiredness, and at times, symptoms that resembled Parkinson's disease. Many of the infected would die of respiratory failure shortly after the onset symptoms, while others developed more neurological disorders and were left with immobile faces, rigid muscles, and an inability to interact with other people. It left many in a statue-like state, or as some described, a puppet-like state, where their minds are active but they needed assistance moving their bodies. Most of the first documented cases begin in 1916, but there are cases as early as 1915. A lot of cases began appearing in Austria and France at the same time, reporting similar symptoms with a unique pattern. Yet despite the similarities across the globe with symptoms, no one could find a definitive common cause or method of transmission. Most of the cases were recorded in the 1920s, and it would affect anyone, but most common, it was in young people and women. Most cases occurred primarily in the United States and Europe, and it's believed its transmission was tied to the wide-scale troop movement during and immediately after World War I. We don't know how people were getting infected or what caused it, so we didn't understand how to treat it. Most people said that early onset symptoms were fever,